Hey, testing, testing. Hello.
Hello, I'm able to hear you. Hello, world. We just
What's
gotta make
up?
sure we're able to see you.
So you go by LJ, right? LJ?
Yes, yes, I do.
The legendary.
Strangely, though, video's not really showing on my end, but it definitely is showing on the other end. But you know what? That is okay. May be able to see you straightforward, but I know you are definitely on stage. You are on the view, and thank you so much for being my second guest.
Yeah, of course. You're the goat. Seriously, I've been watching your stuff on Twitter for a long time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But nothing compared to how long I have been watching you ever since 2021. I know I promised many times before, especially via Discord, that well it would definitely be how do I say this? Just about the recent album that just came out, the debut album of Heartpiece, but I'm sorry. My first question is this. How, oh, please tell me how, did someone like you just pop up oh so suddenly, so it seemed, onto Heaven Sent, an
Oh
album
yeah.
owned by Slander with the song Voices, with one of the female goats, not only just vocalist but producers herself, Pauline Hare. Please tell me how did that come to be.
That's a good question. Oh man, it's a throwback. I haven't heard that song in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. But so basically, first, thanks for having me on your awesome interview here, and two, you know, I think yeah, Voices. That's an old one. That is a really old one. So I started making music like probably 15 years ago now, and I didn't. Hello World wasn't my first project. My first project was just kind of releasing music under my own name. So I had a lot of experience making music and putting it out. But I think like Hello World was to me, it was like this attempt to make something that like felt a lot more cohesive and had a vision behind it, and um just like had a little more substance to it than just like the little beats that I made, something that tied it all together. um so yeah, I went to icon in 2019 after I had studied computer science in college, so I did my degree, and I was like just trying to think of ways to connect music to all the things that I love, which from studying computer science, it's like coding and like video games and just like nostalgic stuff that I grew up enjoying as a kid.
Right.
So yeah, Icon just kind of helped me like get to a point where I felt confident in pulling it all together and making a project, right? So I prepared for a while, and I think Voices was one of the demos that I made during COVID, kind of like at the tail end of my year at Icon, and um, yeah. So how it all happened though was I worked with a songwriter and artist named Luma. I'm sure you are familiar, right?
Oh,
Great.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, familiar with Luma.
So she was one of the first vocalists that I worked with on my own music, and we made a song together, and we became good friends immediately. And
Mm-hmm.
she introduced me to her manager, Shamar, his name is, and
Mm-hmm.
um, just through that interaction, like I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to start this new project. Could you send this to your manager? Get some thoughts from him." So she sent it to Shamar, and he was like, "Yo, this is so cool. Like, I want to help you kind of get this out in the world." So um, I started working with him, and I sent him like 6 or 7 demos, all like very bass music-y, very different than the stuff I have now, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, Voices was one of them, and we were like, we both kind of agreed that like this would be a really good way to start the project, right? Voices, but we
Right.
didn't have vocals on it at the time. We did not have vocals. It was just an instrumental track, and I remember we were kind of like, okay, if this is gonna be the first single, then we should probably get like a top line on it, like get some vocals. And this was before I started singing, so I didn't even like the thought of singing was not even an option in my head, right? I was
Right.
like, I want to get a vocalist. And the first person I thought of was Paulina, who I had heard on an Enzo track a long time ago called Notions. And I remember thinking this
Mm-hmm.
was like one of the coolest things ever. I was a huge fan of Inzo, and that song was just like so inspired me. I loved her voice, right? So I personally didn't have a connection to her, so I probably me reaching out probably would have resulted in nothing less than like a collab bro message
Hmm.
on Instagram, you know. So
Right.
I had Shamar pull a few strings, my new manager, right?
Hmm.
And I believe he went through Britt or somebody who was already worked with Paulina, um, and he sent it over anonymously to her, like without saying who I was, because that was the whole thing, was I wanted to start this anonymously, and
Hmm.
just said like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And she was blown away by the track, absolutely loved it, and was like, yes, absolutely. And I wrote a little top line with Britt, and we sent it over to her to sing it. She sent it back. I pulled it all together, and then we waited like 6 months. We sent it out to so many labels. Oh my gosh, it was such a tiring process trying to
Hmm.
find the right home when I didn't have a name for myself, right? So we sent it out to Sable Valley. We sent it to what else? I think not Night Mode. Oh man, we sent it to Monster Cat. We sent it to so many labels, and nobody really took Deadbeats. Nobody took the time to listen to it. And then all of a sudden, we got an email back from the Good Vibrations team saying, "Hey, we're starting a new thing soon called Heaven Sent. If you're down to wait
Hmm.
6 months, then we can put this out on the new label, right?" And I was very impatient. I was very ready to get music out for the first time, but
Hmm.
it seemed like a really good fit. So we ended up saying yes to it, and it was like 6 months later that it all launched, and I launched the whole thing anonymously, and that was the start. So hopefully that was a very long-winded answer, but hopefully that gave you the information.
Oh, no, no, no. It definitely makes a lot of sense, and I really do appreciate like the little story of how Hello World like made his grand debut to the EDM world. That is amazing to hear, and of course, thanks so much to Shimar and Luna, and for them like doing giving their support, doing their thing for like getting this song Voices out there to Heaven Sent. And I think you mentioned a name called Brit. I'm thinking Brit Laurie. Am I
Britt's
correct? Or
no Britt is Luma's real name.
oh, that's a real name.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
yeah.
I know of another vocalist named Britt Laurie, so I thought, okay,
Oh, I
maybe she
know.
had involved in it too. My apologies. My
Oh, she's
apologies.
great too. She's great too.
But since you mentioned that with the song Voices, singing didn't really hit your head, like that wasn't much of an option that you thought in your head. However, what changed when we heard the song Only Way Out in script
Oh,
form?
yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. So I think like s- I think the transformation was just kind of out of like necessity, right? I am still very much a very small artist who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on vocals. And my mom's in
Right.
here actually. Uh, um,
Well,
so
your mom's here?
yeah, we
Oh
got
my
Just Lori W.
gosh! Wait, what's her
Lori.
name? Lori!
That's awesome. Hi, mom.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Blood Nymph, is that her, or is it like
No, no, just Lori W. That's her. That's my
Lori
mom.
W? Got it. Hi,
Yeah,
Mom.
yeah, good
How
stuff.
are you doing? Anyway, sorry.
Uh,
Only way out. I had to say
yeah.
hi to
So,
Mom. And
so,
hi, so Tuss.
yes. Um, so yeah. So as I said, as a small artist who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on music stuff, I couldn't really afford to spend a lot of money on top lines. You know, vocals typically from good artists, as they should. They take money, right?
Right.
So it's it just like didn't seem realistic for me to every time I wanted to put a song out to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to get somebody to sing on it. So I started experimenting with singing my own stuff, right? Like, and then I started to realize, okay, in the few times that I have paid people or worked with other people, I'm like, you know what? I think I kind of feel like I could write something that I might like a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and it kind of turned into this thing where I was like, maybe I should just write, maybe I should just start singing and like write my own stuff. After getting like a few top lines back from people I was trying to work with that I just wasn't like, didn't really feel like it fit very well.
Hmm.
I just started to experiment with singing, right? So Only Way Out was my first attempt at singing um singing on an EDM song, right? Um and that I think that decision to start singing really changed the trajectory of my music because I think, after Only Way Out, I kind of started to realize like I don't know if my voice really fits the big EDM stuff, right? So that pushed me into a trajectory of like, okay, maybe I should try producing a little bit different and see what fits my voice. And that's kind of brought me to where I am today. But that was the what made the switch happen.
Understood. So it seems like throughout the journey of Hello World, there's been like a lot of, I would say, like slow evolutions, but like a lot of different changes that I believe really kind of honed the project of Hello World. So like you mentioned, Odd One Out, Odd Only Way Out. It was when he
Mhm.
started singing. I feel like what really blew me away was really the musicality of how you portray some of your songs, because it seems like what I've been loving is that in a lot of the songs, there's a lot of visual aspects to
Mm.
it, and I'm talking about the visual aspects of it through music videos. So I'm thinking to myself, when we get to like I'll say warning signs, or we move into the Too Hard to Let Go era, those particular two EPs, how do they feel to like not only start trying to put visual like stuff through a music video, through an MV? Was it kind of like easy? Was it difficult? Because it seemed like it was simple in how it was in a lot of them, but it was still beautiful to witness and like see the mindset of Hello World in said songs.
So do you mean when you say the visuals, do you mean like the 3D visuals or like the live action, like
I feel
film stuff?
I feel like it was definitely a bit of both, because we started off 3D with one with I think it was the one with the TV, yeah, close to the ground. That was like one of the first MVs I saw of Hello World, and then
Mhm.
moved on to like I'm guessing your bedroom with one of the songs from Too Hard to Let Go. I
Yeah.
think it was Easier, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Good memory. Um, yeah, so I think so explain the question one more time.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
No, you're
sorry.
good.
So
You're good.
adding I mean the visual aspects of what. No, let's start with the visual aspect of what the first one I ever saw, the first MV I ever saw, Close to the Ground. It was
Yeah.
simple. It was just like 3D visuals, just a TV with you singing in said song. But how did that kind of come to be visual wise?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, for me, I'm very like it's very important to me that the visual stuff looks and complements the sound stuff, right? Like with somebody who has such a specific idea of how they want things to sound, me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have something that like complements it in the visual realm, right? So it's always been a very big struggle for me and like a journey, I should say, not struggle, to figure out like how does Hello World stuff look too, right? Because I was very confident in how things sounded. I would like the 8-bit sounds and like the digital distorted stuff. But it was like, okay, how does this sound? How does this look then? How does this look on social media? How does this look in like music videos and stuff? So I think those earlier things were kind of me experimenting with like ways to portray it visually, right? So for example, I started a lot with the 3D stuff because that just made sense, right? Like digital stuff works well with you can basically make anything in Blender or Cinema 4D.
Yep.
So you can just
Yep.
make a lot of cool like ethereal looking digital things, right? So I had the Game Boys for the Warning Signs EP for the Clouds in My Basement EP on Monster Cat. I did like some like digital versions of me inside of a box.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was all my friend Hein, who's absolutely super talented artist. And I think it's
Absolutely.
just been all a journey of like trying to figure out what like the visuals are, right? So as doing the easier music video, I was trying to do that was like my first live action music video. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like I think my idea there was like a lot of my stuff is very inspired by like very nostalgic things. So things that remind me of childhood, right?
Right.
And easier itself was kind of about the struggle of like just kind of existing and being in the music industry and like trying to do good every day. Um, so I kind of liked the idea of like bringing it back to like your childhood bedroom when you're just kind of sitting there and getting all worked up about life, but like also in your childhood bedroom, like back when things were simpler.
Right.
Um, and I'm still trying to figure out the visual side of things. Like I think the album that I just did was like a big shift in terms of like how I portray myself physically and
Right.
visually. So I'm
It
really
was
exploring that
definitely,
side.
yeah. Yep, exactly. It was definitely a huge shift in what we get music video wise. But it seems like the team who helped you out in a lot of these live action videos has pretty much stayed the same. I gotta give some love to Stumbling Productions and a lot of the main director I've seen in a lot of your videos, Michael Monroe. I have to give a shout out to those guys, or Michael
Yeah.
Morones. I'm sorry, Morones. I gotta be sure to say it properly. What made you keep coming back to them and keep working with them? Not only in
Uh,
a couple of the other videos we see, like Story or stuff like that, but of course in Love and War and Heartpiece.
oh wow. That's a really good question too. Um, yeah, shout out to Michael. He's insane. I think it's actually it was very convenient connection. Like my roommate name's Jason. He was a college roommate of mine back in the day, and now we live together in
Wait,
LA.
Joseph Kovalik?
Yeah, yeah, that's him.
That's
That's him.
him. Okay.
He primarily does film stuff and was working on a lot of sets, and he started a little production company called Stumbling with my friend Michael, who I met through Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they knew I was making music, and they were very supportive, and I knew they were doing the film stuff, and it was just kind of inevitable that we ended up working on something together, right? So the first experience working with them was I think I told them I was looking to do a video for um, the acoustic version of Too Hard to Let Go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, we can do that easy, right?" So they brought in like a Steadicam operator. We rented out a space, uh, and they made like this beautiful video for it, super super great looking video. And I was like, "Okay, this is great." He obviously knows what he's doing, um, and he was just very competent with and super talented with the camera, right? So it
Right.
was very obvious, just given like that we became really good friends and how talented he was and how they really appreciate my music. So it was a very like symbiotic relationship, right? Where we both help each other out by like I give him music and things to film, and he films them, and we like post them together and make art together. So it's like it's very much a symbiotic relationship. And now they're doing a bunch of really cool stuff. So it's just good to see them succeed too.
Right. It's both of you guys are succeeding. I hate to use this like quote, but it's like if you guys work together to make something amazing, both of you guys can eat. And
For
yeah,
sure.
you guys all ate. And I
For
cannot
sure.
be much more prouder of you, of Stumbling Productions, of that little company being built up to where it is now. I'm just so proud of all of you guys.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the acoustic music video of Two Hearts to Let Go, I'm just curious to know what is it about about making certain songs either stripped and or acoustics? Because it seems like that's something you really do take a lot of pride and a lot of passion in. We see it in Towards Let Go. We see it in
Yeah.
Only Way Out. And most importantly, we see it in the Heartpiece acoustic music video where we brought an actual amazing, I think, award-winning harpist.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Okay. Just first and foremost, I just gotta say I'm like very impressed with your ability with how much you've researched on my stuff. Like that really means a lot, man. Seriously. Um, so I hope you know that like you are an amazing interviewer.
Thank you. Thank
I,
you so much.
of course, yeah. So with that being said, yeah, I mean, so I grew up playing piano. I mean, I have a little piano that I play every day in my room over here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ever since I was like 3 years old, right? I was playing piano, and it's just always been a big part of my life, right? So there was like I was one side of me and my project where it was like the cool electronic stuff, right?
Right.
But I also really wanted to explore just the idea of releasing stuff just like on piano with me singing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I started to explore that with Only Way Out. I remember the first time I made that, I was like just kind of playing around with the idea of making an acoustic version, right? And then I did it, and I was like, whoa, that feels really, really good. Like I loved that. So it just kind of became a staple for my music, where I was like, okay, maybe I should just keep doing that. And then now, I mean, as a kind of a hint, like I think a lot of my music might even just sound like that off rip in the future, like just some of it at least, just like piano and guitar music, you know. Um, but anyway, yeah. So it's kind of a staple with the Hello World stuff, and yeah, don't even get me started on the harp thing. That was so cool. But yeah,
Please, no, 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 no. Go on, go
yeah. I
on.
mean,
That was something you were very
so
proud of. You,
yeah, yeah.
and again, I'll let you finish, but I have another question regarding the whole harp thing. But keep going, keep going, keep going.
Well, I was just gonna say that the harp situation was just like such a random event. Like I did not plan for that. I think my intention was I wrote this cool song with two of my friends,
Mhm,
Heartpiece, right? And it had a
mhm.
harp in it. It was an electronic harp. I wrote it with MIDI, and I was like, okay, what if I just did some cool Instagram videos with harpist, you know? Um, so I had my manager help me look around for some harpists just to make like an Instagram video. Like I was literally just trying to make like TikTok content of a
Right,
harpist.
short form content.
Yeah, maybe like a nice a nice like harp lady, just somebody like kind of look. We can make a cool aesthetic looking thing. And then
Right.
my manager found this guy, Alexander Boldachev, who is quite the
Yeah.
opposite of like the stereotypical like harp woman. He is like this uber European, amazing, talented, and yeah, world award winning, like world renowned harpist. Like
And he's
I
a
had no
man.
idea. And he's a man, and he's like he's just it's like quite the opposite of like the stereotypical harpist.
Mhm.
And I had no idea like what I was getting into, right? So we decided to meet up when he got to LA on like some tour, and he was like, he was just telling me about all of his achievements, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm one of the best in the world." And I was like, "Oh, anybody can say that." But then he started telling me more, and then I looked at his Wikipedia page, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, he's actually like a harpist. Like he's really good."
I was
And
thinking,
then he started,
I was thinking it would be more like, oh, you say you're the best? Okay, here's a harp. Play me the Great Fairy
yeah,
Fountain theme right
yeah,
now.
seriously. But like he came and he just started playing this crazy stuff. I have more videos I gotta share of it, but he just started like just shredding on the harp, and it was just all stuff that he was just like making up on the spot. And I was like amazed by it, right? So with just how it turned out, it wasn't even supposed to go on Spotify. It wasn't supposed to be part of the album, but it just turned out so good. It really is, I think, my favorite thing on the album. And I was like, there's no way I can't include this. This is just like one of the coolest musical moments for me, where I just got to work with somebody who's like so talented and so like inspiring, you know. So
Right.
kind of fun.
So I'm a bit surprised a bit because you said that was like your most like favorite musical moment so far in your career.
It was one of them.
One of
Just because
them.
it was just like so unique, you know, like being in the electronic industry, like it's it's cool to play cool shows and to do all that. But I felt like the heart moment was like deeper than that. You know, it was just like it was bigger than electronic music. It was just meeting up with somebody and making something really beautiful that like wasn't even in the genre I was making. It just felt like so
It
special. You know,
just felt right.
it just felt right. No, I was like blown away with the arrangement that he wrote for my song. Like it was the song that I wrote, right? And then he
Mhm.
just brought it to life with this harp piece that he wrote for it. And it was just like the coolest thing. I don't know. It
No,
was,
no.
yeah, it was insane.
Understood. Understood. So, what about San Holo?
Oh yeah, I mean that was also one of them. That was
Uh,
top two for
I,
sure.
I was gonna say you hyped up the Heartman so much. I was thinking about myself, Boldachev, you're amazing. I was thinking to myself, what about San
Oh yeah,
Holo?
I
Because
mean that is
here's
that
the
goes
thing.
without saying.
Because here's the thing. I thought that first off, you mentioned that San Holo was like a mentor for you. Not to mention he was featured in the starring music video along with all the rest of the fans in the
Wow,
background. I
you
know
know
this whole
you
the
did your
whole
research.
a big event thing regarding, hey, you want to be part of a Bitbird music video, just hit us up in this area.
Yeah.
I still regret not answering the call. It wasn't in New York City. Hello World, you owe me. But anyway, he was there in Story. He helped out with the Throttle song, Weightless. I believe the song like Weightless Afterward, I believe.
Yeah.
He wrote some things for that. And he collaborated in the song Figure This Out, track number 8 in the album. So, I'm sorry, Boldachev, you're amazing, but I gotta kind of give some sparkle and give some love to San Holo. How did it feel to work with somebody as incredible as him, the CEO of Bitbird?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to downplay that. That is, up there with as the top 2 moments probably of the entire album. Were working with San and also Alex. But it goes without saying, working with San is just like one of the coolest things ever. Um, I think the reason the harp one was so amazing is just it was unexpected. With San, like
Unexpected, okay.
we became friends back. It had to be like 2021, and I think he really liked my early stuff. We sent him a bunch of demos for Bitbird, and then I did that Bitbird EP with him and
Mm-hmm.
the Bitbird team. And yeah, he was in the Sorry music video. Great eye on that. Yeah, and so we just kind of like always been in touch. We'd see each other at events. We would talk every once in a while on Instagram. Fun fact, actually, is that I back in 2018, I opened for him on a side stage, just as Drew Wilkin, in Minneapolis, right? So he didn't even know who I was. I'd never met him. He was on his album one tour, and I opened
Wow.
for him on some side stage upstairs at Skyway Theater in Minneapolis, and I
Wow,
saw
that's
him.
that's actually really amazing to know.
Yeah,
And so I thought the first time you actually performed with him was during Club Miami
yeah.
with
So great
Falling
memory.
Hair
I
and
almost forgot about that. Yeah. So it goes way back. 2018 we met, and then we actually didn't meet. Sorry, 2018 I opened for him. We didn't meet, and then we found each other through music in like 2021, and I released some stuff on Bitbird. We became friends. We got coffee. He was giving me so much advice and help, and I think we just kind of found that we really connected with each other. I mean, every time we hang out, we get in very deep conversations. It's very, very deep.
mhm.
And I feel like he gets it, and I love that. So I think just through our friendship, we've had the pleasure of getting close. And then obviously it's just inevitable. Like I respect him so much as an artist. Like he's one of the most inspiring artists to me just because of how passionate he is about his music and his art. And like, that's the type of artist I want to be, is somebody who follows what they're passionate about, not just what's going to get them fans and money and stuff. Like you can feel how much he loves the music that he makes, right? Like, and it's like you don't even have to appreciate the music. Like you just know it. He loves it, so you love it. You know?
And not to mention, you hear it, you feel it, you
Yeah,
see it in his musicality. That this is something he's just like doing or faking. Like there is literal heartfelt emotion
yeah,
woven through it. And like you mentioned, you opened up for him during the album one tour. Album one, perfect example of such work. You listen to
so
songs
true.
like Lifting from the Ground. You listen to songs like Surface, Worthy, Show Me, Always in My Mind, Voices in My Head. It all tells a story. It all speaks of a feeling and emotion that he's felt before.
Yeah,
And he just exemplified that through the album. So it's amazing to know that someone like him inspires you to pretty much do the same. And
yeah.
needless to say, you have done your thing in this debut album of Heartpiece. So that I have to congratulate you. That I have to tell you, I'm sorry I sound like a broken record, but you absolutely slayed it with this album. I cannot
Thanks,
be any more
LJ.
prouder.
I appreciate it so much. It was really fun to make. It was really fun to
Now,
make. It was a year and a half of work. Like it was a gross amount of work. I'm kind of glad in all honesty, I'm glad it's over because I'm mentally I'm very ready for the next thing, right? Like
right.
when you're working on projects in music, it's like, you're usually working on them up to a year or two before the public hears them, right? So by the time it comes out, generally we're ready to move on and make something new, right?
Right.
So
But
I'm
for
ready
this
to
one, But for this one, for this album and all the work you put into this album, are you really ready to just move on to the next thing, or do you just want to let the album just simmer for a few months?
Well, I'm gonna let it simmer for sure, and I'm gonna promote it, and I'm gonna try to get it out there as much as I can. But in the meantime, I'm working on a ton of other music. Like I'm writing most days and trying to trying to just see what's next, right? So whatever is next, I'm planning right now. I'm making, and then you guys will probably hear it in a few months next year. I don't know, whenever that happens, right? But
Understood.
you gotta let it simmer. You're right.
Right. I feel like regarding this album, and I'll even say this for the Bitbird EP when you released that, it seems like there's a lot of similar like themes and or messages trying to be spoken through this. So, for example, I remember me reading this a bit in the starting music video. So if you actually are, how do I say this, detailed and actually, look down in the description of YouTube, which a lot of people sometimes don't really do.
True.
This kind of stuck out to me a bit regarding the Things I Want to Text You EP. That it's a collection of tracks that illustrates my journey of emotion through heartbreak. And it ends with this: a time when I started to feel like Drew again. This one is the anthem for not taking any more BS from someone who hurt you, which I'm guessing, again, inspired by album one, because it kind of has a type of the same energy when you listen to songs like Worthy, when you listen to songs like My Fault from album two. So I had to connect dots in that regard. But when we listen to what you said about Heartpiece, and this was tough because I don't know what font you use for promoting the track list, but I'm sorry. I don't think anyone was able to really zoom in on what Heartpiece is about. So
Oh
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah,
for those people, I'll help you guys out here. Heartpiece takes you alongside my quest for self-discovery. My whole life, I've always felt as if there was something outside of me in space and time that would make me whole, only to realize the cliches are true. It's something I have access to within myself all along. Heartpiece is a collection of music made through my journey of discovering that very fact, from seeking happiness and fame, fortune, validation, and material things, to realizing that act alone was pulling me into the depths of depression more than anything else. So I feel
yeah.
like
You actually
both of
you actually
those.
got to go. You actually zoomed in on that. Nice. I love it.
Thank you, but I feel like what I'm getting from this is that it's all pretty much just a journey, your own journey, but it's relatable to a lot of people out there in the world. It's a journey of just like yourself
Hmm.
and the things and the feelings, both the good and the bad that comes right through. Because a lot of us has felt love and heartbreak. A lot of us are on that journey of self discovery. So so what I'm kind of saying is regarding that EP, regarding this album, are you kind of hoping that this album will be kind of like a mental health break for those people, or maybe can give them some insights, or maybe give them some inspiration on how to find themselves? Like you're doing a good job in like knowing who you are and what you want to give to the world, what you're trying to achieve in the world, and maybe it's kind of like a pat in the back, being like, you know what, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You. I'll give you a piece of my heart
Yeah.
musically. That type of energy.
A- Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So just to explain and elaborate on the description a little bit more, I
Mm-hmm.
think like primarily it's been I moved here to LA and I've been doing the music thing, as my main thing, right, for like 4 years now. And it has been like the biggest journey for me. And it's included so many things, right? But a lot of it has been trying to find happiness and fulfillment out of things outside of myself, outside of what I have access to right now. So that means seeking seeking money, seeking fame, seeking achievement. Um, and I think like a lot of these songs I wrote through that process. A lot of these songs are about that person who maybe really I was stuck on for a long time, and it was really hard for me because I was seeking that happiness outside of myself, or maybe it was about that like that journey of trying to just achieve something so that I could be seen, right? A lot of it
Mm,
is about the trials and tribulations that I went through during this journey. Not necessarily about the journey itself, but it's just songs that I wrote while experiencing these things. So I think anybody can experience these things. I think everybody does and seeks that happiness, that heart peace. That's really why I called it, is like the heart peace, right? It's like that thing that you think is going to make you happy. Um,
right.
and I just think like I think anybody can relate to that, right? Everybody's looking for that thing, right? So there has to be one song in there that can relate to your journey as well when you're looking for that.
Right. And to know that, for all of us to know that, we sincerely appreciate you, Helloworld, for giving us that energy, for like letting us know about the story of Heartpiece. And it's really amazing to hear. And with that, I feel like for someone like me, and I know for a lot of people who will soon see this, or who are seeing this now, they'll connect with it a lot more when they listen to this album and like really understand more of the story and background regarding Heartpiece. Now, I have to ask these questions as well. These are itching in my mind regarding Heartpiece. Is the title Heartpiece based off the Piece of Heart item from Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, of course it is. Duh.
That's why.
You know,
That's why I kind of thought again. If for a lot of people who don't have that gamer mentality,
yeah,
who don't know their
yeah,
Zelda, who don't know that, I had to feel always thinking heart piece, peace heart, piece of heart,
yeah.
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
It-
I literally say piece of my heart, piece of heart, piece of my heart in the song itself. I
right.
mean, like literally, when I got together with Asher and Todd, the guys I wrote the song with, we were at a
Hmm.
writing camp, and Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game, just came out, right? And it was like,
Hmm.
it was the Zelda game where, Link was introduced to all these new sky places you could go to, right? So
Right.
we just wanted to write this song about like Link singing up to the sky and like looking for Zelda and kind of compare it, to like looking for that perfect person that doesn't exist for yourself. That like non-existent girl or guy or just person that you think is going to make you happy, right?
Right.
And it just kind of started as that, and then it turned into the whole album. So it's kind of crazy how a little fun idea just around my favorite video game can turn into the start of a giant project.
Right. Although I will say this, the little exclamation you said regarding, Link being in the skies. Sorry, you kind of spoiled me a bit with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't have Tears of the Kingdom yet, but
Oh no,
since you mentioned
it's not
Link,
spoiling. It's not spoiling.
okay, 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 good, good. I'm still stuck on Breath of the Wild. Okay, sue me. But when you were explaining it, a part of me was thinking, are you talking about Tears of the Kingdom, or were you speaking more about this? I gotta get this out because this is one of my favorite Zelda games. I got it day one. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Yeah,
I was thinking
that's
because we have the Skylops, we have the Crimson Wings. I was thinking more in that regard.
yeah. No, I loved Skyward Sword. I just beat it. I don't know, like last year. It was a great game. I mean, that was a big nostalgic one for me. So I wasn't, yeah, it wasn't necessarily referencing that. It was more Tears of the Kingdom just because it just came out, but it's just that concept of like, you know, I think I liked to picture Link kind of singing up to Zelda, even though Link doesn't say a word in any of the games. But whatever
Well,
if he sang, maybe it
he
would be like
does.
Heartpiece,
He does say a few words.
right? Just more like groans.
Yeah, exactly. I would say it's like, huh? Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds.
so true.
Yes, but segueing to that, I have to ask, what is your favorite Legend of Zelda game? And hi, Shimar. He's in the chat. If you want to
Let's
join us,
go.
please. I gotta say hi to you, man.
Yeah. My
Anyway, favorite Zelda
favorite
game.
Zelda game. Favorite Zelda game. Is definitely Majora's Mask. That is that was the first one I played. It's the Nintendo 64. It's like the creepiest one. It's the most unsettling. And there's something
Yep.
really weird. There's something really nostalgic about it for me. I used to have this babysitter across the street who was like, 10 years older than me. And I always thought he was super cool. And he had a Nintendo 64. And he would always bring it over and we'd play Majora's Mask together. And he would like put the masks on, and you could control the Zora and the Goron and stuff. And I just
Hmm.
thought that was like so cool as a kid. So I think I just have the most fond memories around that one.
That is amazing. That's amazing to hear. I wasn't really much of a Zelda fan right off the bat. I feel like what kind of converted me for better or worse was most definitely Ocarina of Time. But no, it's not the N64 version. It was the remake on the 3DS because that was the first game I ever played because that was the first free game I ever got. And I
Yeah.
had the Ocarina of Time edition of the 3DS. So that's what really stuck out to me, and it was one of my introductions to Legend of Zelda. I had no clue what was going on really. I knew it was definitely a puzzle game, but it took me like 3 years to fully complete the game and get to the end game
Yeah,
with the
it's a great
water
game though.
temple. Yes, immediately with the water temple taking almost a year of my life away.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
I did not care. I didn't know about walkthroughs. I didn't know about
Oh
playthroughs.
yeah, I know.
All I knew was all I
That's
knew
when games were better though.
that the water temple just
It
sucked.
was yeah, I remember. I remember.
I'm just glad
I
I did
honestly,
not play Majora's Mask because their water temple was possibly a lot worse because of one particular area, the whirlpool room. Oh
I think I
my
remember that.
god, the whirlpool room.
I
Enough to
I,
strike fear into the hearts of multiple Zelda gamers. I'm sorry I'm giving you PTSD or anyone in the chat PTSD. We don't talk about that room. Anyway, again, thank you so much, Hello World, for letting us hear about your bit of the story, a bit about this album. It's an absolutely incredible masterpiece. Fingers have been crossed. We get to see us maybe on a little mini tour like you've done before with warning signs. But I had to ask this final question. With the Heartpiece being done, being made, what is next for Hello World?
whoa, that is a question that I'm still figuring out. But I think the most the way I understand it right now is I am starting a new quest per se. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what um I'm just trying to figure out what kind of music I want to make, you know? I'm making a ton of music. I think this is the year where I'm like trying my best to write with more people. You know, I have like two or three collaborations at most on my at least like features or collaborations on my Spotify. And
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that like I think I'm missing out on a big part of writing music, you know, is working with other people and learning from other people. That's always something I've shied away from. I've mostly wrote music in this bedroom right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've just kind of realized that I need to I need to get out there and just work with more people and um and meet more people in music and like just kind of sharing that energy a little bit more because being hermited and working by yourself all the time is pretty it can be maddening, you know, like you kind of sometimes can lose sight of why you enjoy it, right?
Right.
So that's the most information I have because I haven't really, you know, I'm writing a lot of music, I'm making a lot of stuff, but I have nothing really set in stone for what's next yet, just a few ideas. But the one thing that's going to stay true is that I'm trying to work with more people this year, so hopefully
Mm-hmm.
more collaborations.
Definitely. And well, that kind of begs the question: are there any artists or people you wish you could collaborate with?
Oh,
Anyone that's like either like in the works or you like dream of having you want just trade musical ideas with.
yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. I have a whole list. But just off the top of my head, like I think it's a lot of people who aren't really in electronic music. Although I want to write more with San. You know, him and I had talked about writing some more stuff. A big dream collaboration would be Porter Robinson. Love
Mm-hmm.
everything that guy makes. Breakins would be cool. I just listened to this guy, Gene Dawson, for the first time. I'm really into his stuff. Um, my friend Kaya, Blood Nymph, we've been writing a lot of stuff together for fun, and it's been like we've been making some really cool stuff. Um, yeah, what else? I mean, if I could get a Skrillex collab one day, that'd be cool. That'd be insane.
That would be insane.
Uh,
That would be
uh,
insane.
I'm a big More Kismet fan. We started something pretty recently, and I don't know if anything's gonna come of it, but just like I just want to utilize the homies more, the friends, the people, the connections I've made in music, and write with those people. And then obviously if anybody who I admire comes into the picture like that, that's really cool too. Like any big artist that I'm a big fan of too. So
That would
I'll keep posted.
be that would be amazing to witness. I feel like right off the bat, Port Robinson and Skrillex, those could most definitely happen.
Oh,
I mean, hello,
Owl City. Oh my gosh, if I could write something with Owl
Owl
City,
City, Adam
Adam
Young.
Young, that would be amazing because he's also from Minnesota and I'm from Minnesota, so kind of fun.
Hey, it's possible. The Al Young is possible. Hello, you are in the Monster Cat. He already has a song in Monster Cat with
Does he?
Didrik, Ready to Fly. So I feel like that could probably be in the works. We have Porter Robinson and Skrillex. That I feel like those are most definitely going to happen for you. Because hello, San Holo, remix Porter Robinson, work with Skrillex in his Ausla label, Volume One. It's gonna happen. I mean, I have a strong feeling that everyone you mentioned, they're gonna want to see and know the power and the beauty that comes from Helloworld.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's going
Oh, you're the
to
best.
come to fruition. I'm not saying that as like this just make you feel better. No, no, no. I am saying this off the heart of my chest, off a piece of my heart, that is going to happen. That is no like wishing or hoping or fingers crossing, throw a penny in the fountain, make a wish in the star. No, that's a promise. Those collaborations are most definitely going to
Oh,
happen.
that'd
I
be so cool
cannot
though.
wait to see when those happen. It's not about as a matter of like how. It's all a matter of when.
Yeah,
And something tells me that when is coming sooner or later. I can hardly freaking wait.
that'd be pretty cool, LJ. I would love that. I'll
And P.S.
keep
If you
posted.
ever have an idea for another music video and you need some like extras background, please call me.
I got you. I will. I will. Where do you
Thank
live?
you.
Where do you live right now?
I am in New York City.
Nice.
I am in the state of New York. So if that's a good location for whatever is on the way, bring Stumbling Productions, bring Martin, bring in Jason, and I'm curious to see the music you got, the music and magic you guys will bring in front of the camera, behind the camera. I can hardly wait. Again, thank you so much. Helloworld for all that you've done for your album, and we gotta give some love to the people out there who also contributed to it. Not just San Holo, not just oh my gosh, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Borch. I'm gonna say Harp Guy. I don't want to butcher his name. I'm
Harp guy.
sorry,
You can just call him Alex. I believe he just
Alex.
goes by Alex.
I gotta give some love to Alex as well, and of course, like you said, it took a village to bring this album to
It did.
life. We
There's
had
so
to
many
give
people
some love
involved.
to we had to give some love to Artemis Orkson. We had to give some love to Pear Bear. We got to give some love to, of course, Shemar, 24/8 Management, for really believing in you and bringing the type of Heartpiece, that type of energy, the type of support to you and bringing it to fruition. I got to give some love to Noah Beanlet, who absolutely killed it with the visuals, with the Heartpiece there. He
Yeah, they
absolutely
designed
destroyed
the
it all
harp
the
piece
time.
itself. So yeah.
I have to give some love to him. I've seen his work in Art by Form. I've seen his love with underscores and the work he put there.
Yeah.
So he's freaking incredible. I gotta get some. I said Artemis Orkson because she's incredible. Saw her live, killed it with the collaboration with San Holo Disappear,
Yeah.
and so many others out there.
You know your
And of course, we gotta get some
stuff.
love. Thank you. I also got to give some love. I think she's still in there. Lori, your mom, you're incredible. Thank you so much for
Anyways,
birthing this man and letting him bless us with this incredible album, with this incredible voice, with this incredible music. I have to give some love to her too. And to, of course, everyone who's listening. You, the listeners, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I really do appreciate this so much. And I thank you so much for being my second guest for this like little IG interview thing.
that's
This is
amazing.
all brand new. I just thought this right off the top of my head. I didn't think it will be like will catch any traction, but I have two so far by the span of like span of a month, and I am so honored and blessed to just know people like you and just tell you directly
Oh,
thank you so much
dude.
for the work you're doing, because I'm just a simple fan who wants to shine a light on people like you. It's not about me, it is about you and the work you're putting out. So thank you
Well,
so
dude,
much for what you're
you
doing.
know, I actually I'm gonna have to disagree with you there because you personally, I think you have been like one of the best energies I've ever seen. Like I've always seen you just supporting all the electronic artists, and like, I followed you on Twitter for a while, and I know a
Right.
lot of my peers have like shared your stuff, and I just love your energy, man. Seriously, like you have always been so supportive and positive, and just like I can feel your passion behind music. And I have to say, this is like one of the best and most fun interviews, just given like how much research you've done and all the facts. Like I did not expect you to look into any of that. So I really hope you know how appreciative I am, and I think you should totally keep doing these. Like you are really good at it, seriously, man. So just keep doing it. People love that.
Thank you.
So I
Thank
appreciate
you
you
so
too.
much. I definitely do want to keep this going. I really, really do. This train is most definitely not stopping. It's just another way of me expressing my love to the artist, to the music, and to a genre that has basically saved my life. So
Hmm.
what they're giving, again, like you mentioned before, a symbiotic relationship. The music that's being given to me, that's hitting my eardrums, it fills with an energy that I'm just giving back to the people out there. So
Hmm.
it's like you said, it's like a cycle. It's a positive cycle that keeps going and going and going. And I see people like you just keep rising and rising and rising. I'm rising steadily in my own way, but I'm looking at the stars like you out there who are
No,
leaving your mark in the EDM industry, who are leaving your mark.
barely a
It's
star.
I know you say like no, they're just simple songs type of thing, but no, they're not just songs. They're pieces of art that deserve to be heard, deserve to be expressed. And seeing how much effort, how much work you're putting into it, both music video wise, both production wise, collaboration wise, it's something to behold. It's something to be proud of. And I'm sorry again, sorry to sound like a broken record, but I really do sincerely appreciate you and the work you're putting out. So, you know what? This kind of begs to the last question. This is the final question I'm going to ask because, of
Oh, you're
course,
good.
part of Bitbird, you're a part of the family. You do know that Bitbird, they have volume 5 of Create Together. What Create Together is, if you heard about it before, they look at Discord, they look at all these artists who are also budding, rising artists in their own rights, and give them the spotlights, give them the platform to create their own work, create their own sound, and like it's something that's pretty incredible. I was honored to let's see part of it, volume 2. But my question to you is this: are there any pieces of advice you can give to these artists, to these people out there who are going to be partaking in this challenge of being part of the 5th album? What type of advice can you give to producers out there who wants
Mm,
to become a producer, a musician, a DJ, whatever?
mm. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. I think my biggest piece of advice, and this is gonna sound so cliche, but I've found it to be so true, and that's just to I feel cringe saying this, but just like really be yourself. Like there's so much pressure out there in social media and content creation, and in just what's popular, to like shift what you're doing to fit a mold, right? And anybody who's made it big, or had seen a lot of success, right, has been somebody who's broken that, right? They've decided that they don't want to follow what's popular right now, and they want to just be themselves and embrace what they are and what they like, right? And I think that doing that authentically and making something authentically is just a surefire way to see people, for people to see your passion towards your craft and appreciate it way more. That's why we get artists like San Holo and Porter Robinson. You can tangibly feel their passion for their music because they are making what they love, not what's popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think absolutely, if you're an artist out there, don't feel like you have to make anything to make it big. Make what you love, and good things will happen.
Understood. So just make what you love, and of course, I feel like it's also cliche as well. It's the mantra of Bitbird. Make sure you create together because it's not just about the artists themselves. It's about all of us coming together, being unified
That's true.
through music. That's
So true.
why Create Together was created in the first place. It's not only to bring the Discord server together. Also, Helloworld has a Discord server. You should join that. But it's also to unify people through music and show that there is a lot of beautiful people out there who are talented, who are also budding artists, and we're giving them the spotlight. We are giving them the love. And a lot of these artists who I'm seeing from Create Together Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm seeing them absolutely shine and like leave their mark in the EDM industry, and the growth that they have as well. I'm seeing their growth too is something that is absolutely incredible, something beautiful. I'm seeing them do shows. I'm seeing them being supporting artists for Bitbird, for San Holo, and it's something incredible to witness. And I'm so proud of all of them and seeing them all shine.
So true.
So it's just me making sure I be the proper fan, the proper super fan I am, and give them the love too. Same way I'm doing as I'm doing right now, because that's what I love to do. That's something I know I should do if I want to keep this euphoric EDM genre alive. It has to be. It starts with us, the fans, and the work we do in the community. Because it's up to us to keep it going. We can either. I hate to bring this up too, but because it's so cliche as well, kind of. The two wolves. One is light, one is dark. Who wins? The one you feed. I'm feeding the white wolf.
That is bars right there. So
Yeah,
true.
it's just something that stuck with me, and I want to be one who feeds the good side, and I just hope I'm doing that right now with the work I'm doing. I hope I'm contributing to that side.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love it. Thank you so much, LJ. Seriously, you've been an absolute pleasure. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much. Again, everyone, stream up Heartpiece, run the numbers up. I know it sounds bad. Run up wherever you listen to music, SoundCloud, Apple Music, preferably Tidal, because they actually pay their artists. But again, run up Heartpiece. Just indulge yourself in 15 tracks of absolute pure bliss and artistry. And of course, look at the music videos too to really see the mind and the power and the passion that comes from Helloworld, because he's absolutely freaking incredible. You will not regret it. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Helloworld, thank you so much for being my second guest. And like I can definitely promise you, this will keep going, and I will make sure I keep spreading the love, spreading the spotlight on other artists out there who are talented too. Because just like you, there are so many people out there who needs that type of energy, that type of notoriety in some way, shape, or form to let people know that we see you, we hear you, and we appreciate you.
So true, man. Well, great job today, and we'll keep in touch. Let me know how I can support. Everybody, make sure to
Thank you.
watch LJ's new interviews when they come out.
Thank you so much. I'm working my way up to number 100. I've done over 80 so far.
Let's go. That's awesome, man. All right, keep it going. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, Helloworld. Thank you. And with that, guys, and with that, oh my gosh, just thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I sincerely appreciate you guys so much.